Hello Bookworm family, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell because I'm posting lots of new content all the time. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, please be sure to do that. It is at _dancing_bookworm. I post on there full book reviews and bookish content. So it is Friday. I have so much cleaning I have to do today. My room is a disaster. I have laundry to do. I have to wash my sheets. It's just gonna be a day full of cleaning, but first I have to babysit. We're doing superhero day today based off The Incredibles, and the kids are pretty wound up today, so I don't know if I'll actually record anything because they're a little out of control, but my goal for tonight is to finish reading Ballet Shoes by Noelle Streatfeild. This is about three sisters. One is very good at acting, one is very good at dancing, and one wants nothing to do with any of it, but they are accepted into a stage and dance school where they must go to help raise money for the adoptive person who has taken them in. Not really, she didn't really take them in, an uncle took them in, but the uncle has mysteriously left for many years. So so this book is really cute. It's also a movie. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but Emma Watson plays the oldest girl in it, and I loved the movie when I was younger. I think it came out when I was in like middle school or high school, I can't remember, and I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to finish reading it. I'm only like 25 pages in, but it's pretty adorable so far and pretty accurate to the movie so far. And then while I'm cleaning, I'm also going to be reading Out of the Wild Night by Blue Balliet. This book I just have not been able to get into. I am over halfway through it and just not liking it at all, but this is a ghost story about a ghost who is protecting a house, and she reaches out to kids who can talk to her and communicate with her to help her save this house that people are trying to tear down. There's also a mysterious boat accident the year before, so people are really skeptical to be helping ghosts and want to be pretty much redoing the town so that nothing mysterious can ever happen again. So I don't like it at all. I don't like the point of view, but I need to finish it because it's part of my TBR this month and I just need it done. So we're just gonna plow through it. I'm listening to it on audiobook, but I've had to go back a couple times and reread it because the audiobook doesn't always connect with me. So I don't connect reading it and I don't connect listening to it, but that's what I gotta do right now. So but I'm gonna finish listening to that tonight while I'm cleaning because I have so much cleaning to do. My room's kind of a disaster right now, so. But yeah, I'm gonna go start my day and start this vlog, so stay tuned. Okay, so it is about 10 o'clock at night. My room is roasting. Like, I cleaned the whole thing. It's great. It's clean now, but it is so hot. So the new house that we moved into, Riley and Mai's room are like additions from, like, they're additions from a long time ago, but they're like the newest rooms out of the whole house. And because of that, they don't get the central air that the rest of the house has. So right now, my room is roasting. I'm gonna have to get myself like a little air conditioner for in here because I cannot stand being this hot. I thought it wouldn't be too bad. I was like, oh, how bad will it really get? No, it's bad, guys. It's bad. It's really hot in here. But I wanted to take a minute to talk about the books that I plan to read in this vlog because I have a lot to read before Believathon ends next week, and that's all gonna have to happen in this vlog. So I've already talked about Ballet Shoes and Out of the Wild Night. Ballet Shoes is for the Yellow Brick Road prompt for Believathon. So I already finished my Poacher's Pocket in. I read Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris for that one, and that one was completed in the last vlog, but this one is Ballet Shoes, and this is for the Yellow Brick Road prompt, which was to read a TBR vet, which this one has been on my TBR for forever. I'm about 25 pages in currently, so I'm enjoying it, but I don't know much about it, so that's the one that I have to finish next. I'm also currently reading Out of the Wild Night by Blue Balliet, which I talked about earlier, but basically this is not one for Believathon, so I'm just listening to it when I need an audiobook to listen to because I don't actually need it right now and I don't really like it, so I'm not rushing to read it. I think I'm on chapter 20. I did just get to chapter 20 while I was cleaning, actually, so I did listen to some of it while I was cleaning, but I just don't like it, so I'm trying to finish it as fast as possible because every time I think that I figured out what the book's about, it changes and I'm like, oh, plot twist, 17th plot twist. And then the other one that I'm currently reading already is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is not for Believathon. This is just for my TBR, and I want to listen. I'm listening to this on audiobook, but I'd like to finish the audiobook this week as well. There's not much left to the audiobook, so as soon as I finish Out of the Wild Night, I'm going to finish this audiobook because I think I'm already halfway through it, but I had to pause it to get through Out of the Wild Night because I had already started reading Out of the Wild Night, and I was trying to do all middle grade books during the Believathon weeks, but obviously this is not middle grade, but I just still would like to finish that at some point this week. So that brings me to, if you don't know what Catching Fire is about, but I'm sure you do, Catching Fire is about Katniss Everdeen, who survived the first Hunger Games book and is now one of the victors, and she thinks that she's going to have to go in to train the new tributes from her district, but she is thrown for a loop when she gets picked to go back into the arena due to a game twist. So yeah, I think everybody knows what the Hunger Games books are about, but if you didn't, that's what Catching Fire is about. So that brings us to the other books that I need for Believathon. So after I'm done with The Yellow Brick Road, I am going to the 100 Acre Woods, and that prompt was to read a book with yellow on the cover, and this is Book Scavenger. This is by Jennifer Chambliss Burtman, and this is about a girl who moves to a new town where her favorite author lives, and he ends up leaving scavenger hunt clues to find his next book, and she's determined to go find it, to give them like a more advanced and intense reading experience. So her goal is to go find it and to discover some of the mysteries of this author. And then that brings me to the Brawley Rail, which is the prompt for transportation. So I'm reading Pegasus, the Flame of Olympus. This is by Kate O'Hearn. This is normally not a book that I would pick up, but one of my dancers requested that I read it. And if one of my dancers requests I read a book, I always do because I want to support their reading no matter what it is. So I am reading this one, and this is about a girl named Emily who, she lives in New York City, and she's kind of, her life is twisted upside down when a Pegasus crashes onto her roof, and she, and I believe there's a boy involved, maybe not. Oh yeah, a boy named Joel, her and a boy named Joel and a goddess named Diana need to go, basically solve the problems. There's things at war. There's Pegasuses at war. No, not really. People are trying to basically destroy the Pegasuses and make them Pegasus, I don't know. But people are trying to destroy them and make them extinct forever. And she has to hop aboard the Pegasus, travel to a faraway land to save the Pegasus. That was a horrible description about what this book is about, but honestly, I've only read the summary like maybe once and didn't even really read it all the way through. Again, it's not a book that I would normally pick up, and it's a bit of a chunker for a middle grade. It is, let's see, it is 385 pages for a middle grade, so kind of chunky, and it's just standard print, so no illustrations either. So we'll see how I like this, but you know, I do try to support my dancers and their reading, and not only did she recommend it to me, but when she told me she was going to give me this book, another girl freaked out and was like, I love those books, so I feel like I have to read it. And then I'm going to finish Believathon at the Safekeeper's Stronghold, which is to read the next book in a series, and I'll be reading the second Magic Misfits book, and this book revolves around Layla, who was adopted when she was a kid by two great guys, and they have taken care of her for a long time, but she still has a lot of pain from the past of being in the orphanage that she was in, and she is kind of overcoming that with the help of her 6 friends, and they kind of have this like ability to perform magic tricks in an extra special way. So they're not like magical, but they like can perform extra special magic tricks. So yeah, so those are the books that I'm reading. Again, I'm sorry for the horrible description of Pegasus. I just really don't know what it's about, but supporting the youth. I am so hot right now though that I'm going to go pick up ballet shoes, sit in my nook with the fan directly on me, and read probably an hour sprint, just to cool down a little bit and kind of play it by ear from there. I think I have finally broken my need to watch Once Upon a Time in a binging way. I think I can watch it like once a week and be okay now, but I just got really sucked into the first season and wanted to keep going. Like, I needed to see what happened. And I had seen the series before, but I just kind of forgot everything that happened. And then with all the reading that I've been doing lately, especially with reading the Twisted Tale books, which I've been reading like hardcore this year, I just got really sucked in. But now I think it's over. I've made it to season 2. I watched the first episode of season 2. It's still good. It's still there. I can come back to it and be emotionally supported by it when I need it. But right now I have 6 books to read this week. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's 9:30 on Saturday night. I just got done filming my video to post for tomorrow for Sunday's video that I post on YouTube. I've kind of run out of videos. I had so many videos backlogged, and now quarantine's gone on for so long that I am running out of videos, so I'm having to make new content, which is not horrible, but just frustrating that it's gone on this long and I can't go do anything for content, so all my content has the confines of my house. So I had a pretty lazy day today. I originally woke up at 8:30 because there was delicious breakfast pizza downstairs and I needed it. So I originally woke up at 8:30 and I stayed up for a little while, but then I ended up falling back to sleep. I want to say like almost noonish, and then I took a 6-hour nap. What am I doing with my life? But Saturday is always the day that I catch up on sleep, so I'm sure this is not a surprise to you guys who watch my vlogs. I also don't go to bed till like 2 o'clock in the morning, so really it's about an average night's weekend sleep for me. But I ended up going outside afterwards and just kind of hanging out with the kids. I made some s'mores. I read on the couch while Ava played Roblox. And then I filmed, so I really haven't done much today. I've done a little bit of reading, but not much, so I think I'm going to do an hour sprint, but I also kind of want to take a bath. But then I'm debating, do I want a bath or do I want a shower? I can't decide. I know I want one, obviously, because, you know, you're supposed to do that daily, but I can't decide if I want to take a bath or a shower. I feel like I want a bath because I want to, like, read while I'm bathing. I like to do that. But I also kind of want to just shower because it's quicker and then I can read more. I don't know what I want to do. But also I want to go downstairs and watch TV with my mom for a little bit too. I'm really torn. I don't know what I want to do. So I guess it'll be a surprise to all of us, whatever the next clip holds. Okay, so I took a shower, did my pore strip, watched some TV with my mama. Now I'm going to read. I did read a little bit, like I've read sporadically throughout the day, but now I'm going to do an hour sprint because I need to, because I'm falling behind. So I'm going to do an hour sprint. So by the time I'm done doing that, it will officially be Sunday. So I will check in with you guys then. So it's a little past 12:30 in the morning. It is officially Sunday. After that sprint, I have made it to page 120 of Ballet Shoes, and I still have about 160 pages left. But I think I'm going to do another hour sprint in a little bit. So far, the book's pretty good. I think it's really good for every dancer to read, like, or actress maybe, like anyone who like desires to go on the stage, because I think it's very true to how the entertainment industry is. Even though it was written in the 1930s and takes place in England, there's still a lot of things about like staying humble and not letting it go to your head that's very important. And I think that the lessons that the girls learn are really good for every like young dancer and young actress to read, but it is kind of slow moving. That's why I'm only on 120 pages. Like, there's not a lot of action that I'm like reading quickly through. It's kind of mundane, and I feel like if you're not a dancer, some of the dance terminology might be hard. Like, people the word Batma in ballet is spelled Battment, and I feel like people will probably struggle over that, especially because there's a whole scene where Petrova, I think that's how you say it. I keep saying Petrova in my head, but I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Petrova. Can't say it correctly, so she calls it a Battlemma instead of a Batma. So there's like a whole thing where like it's being pronounced wrong, but then also if you don't know how it's pronounced normally, it doesn't seem wrong. So I feel like that might be hard for people, like they might get caught up on it. And I also feel like this says the reading level is 4.6, which I believe, unless it's different for this when this was published, but I believe that's supposed to be like 4th grade-ish. I think that's what that means. So I feel like it might be a little complicated for kids in 4th grade. However, I do really like it. I think it's cute, but it is just kind of a slow-moving, mellow book. Not a lot of action, just a lot of about what the entertainment industry in the 1930s was like, especially for children, because it's revolving around the 3 sisters. But I do want to do another hour sprint of it in a little bit, but I need a little eye break first, so I think I'm going to watch a little bit of YouTube and have a snack, and then probably, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this up tonight, because it is slow moving, and I don't want to be up wicked late, because I don't want to waste my day tomorrow, but I'd like to get through at least another decent chunk of it, and then finish it up tomorrow. But then tomorrow, I need to start Book Scavenger, and this one's, it's not too thick, but it's not little either. I did pick some thick middle grades for this. I didn't go small. This is about 350 pages. So, it's not short by any means, but my goal is to finish this up within the next couple days. And then I have to somehow read Pegasus, which is quite long. Magic Misfits, I feel like I'm not going to have a hard time getting through. Like, even if I read it next Saturday, it'll be okay because it's short and they're easy to get through. But after Ballet Shoes, I got 2 chunkers in a row, and I'm a little stressed about it. I don't know, because there's only a week left of Believathon. It ends on the 24th, which is a Sunday, so, but I kind of want to finish all my Believathon books by the 23rd, because I still have so much non-Believathon books to finish up too. So I'm a little stressed, but hopefully I can get some good reading in tomorrow. It is supposed to be nice out, so I'll want to go outside, but maybe the kids will leave me alone to read. It's a dream. But it's a dream. Okay, so it's about 1:45. I've had to open both my windows, except that this window is like pinned down because the curtains were too long and they were hitting the heater, so I had to like pin them up. So not that the heater's on right now, but I just have them pinned up for when it is on. But I've had to open both windows. I have my fan on. I turned it off to film this, but I've had my fan blowing on me, and my room is so hot. And the thing is, it's only 60 degrees out, so I'm glad I'm getting an air conditioner because summer would be scalding in here. But I have not recorded much today. I went outside, I painted my nails, they're all super sparkly, and my toes are blue, and I also had to paint my nephew's nails, so I'll put a little picture of him with his nails painted right here because it's pretty cute. But I ended up listening to almost all of Out of the Wild Night. I'm going to finish that up in a little bit. I have about 2 chapters left, and I think they're only 4 minutes long each on audiobook, and I still only have 80 pages left of Ballet Shoes, so I'm going to wrap that up, so I will have finished those 2 books, not tonight, but like early-ish tomorrow morning, like 12 in the morning tomorrow morning, and then I have to start Book Scavenger, so I think that I'm just going to do an hour binge of Ballet Shoes, and then I don't even think it'll take a full hour, maybe like a half an hour binge of Ballet Shoes, and then do an hour binge of Book Scavenger, and then head to bed. I did sleep in pretty late again today. Not horribly late, but like late enough where I'm not tired right now, so, you know how it goes with me. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up those books, and see how much of Book Scavenger I can get done. so it's about 1:30 in the morning, and I just finished reading Out of the Wild Night and Ballet Shoes, and I did the call pile, so I thought I'd go over that with you guys. If you guys don't know what call pile is, it is what G at Bookrose used to rate her books, and most of the booktubers in the booktube community have kind of been doing that as well, and I adapted it to my reading this year because I just needed something to help me sort out more than just giving books 1 star or 5 star. I needed something to help me kind of give them those middle ratings. But for Out of the Wild Night by Blue Balliet, so the ending wrapped up nicely. I will tell you guys that much. Like, all the things that I was confused about in the last 3 chapters explained it all to me. However, because of that, this did not get a very good rating because I shouldn't have to wait until the last 3 chapters for the whole story to be explained. There should have been clues throughout it to help me, and there just weren't. I don't know if it's because I listened to the majority of it on audiobook or because I just wasn't really into it and didn't like the writing style, but this book just did not do anything for me. So call pile wise, I gave the characters a 2. I think the characters were the most interesting part of the book, maybe, other than atmosphere, which I gave a 3 because I thought Nantucket was kind of a cool place. But yeah, those were the 2 highlights of the book, and they only got a 2 and a 3, so let's keep talking. Writing, I gave a 1. Like I said, you shouldn't have to wait until the last 3 chapters to explain the entire plot of your book, which is also kind of what she did with Chasing Vermeer, but at least in Chasing Vermeer, the thing that I didn't like was that she kind of told us the entire thing, like, look how smart I was and tricked you this whole time at the very end. But throughout the thing, like, once I went back, there were clues in it to help me with that. There were no clues in this. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, and threw it all at you at the end. The plot, I gave a 2. I didn't think there really was a plot, but the little bit of plots that there were good. I mean, the plot overall was this lady who's a ghost trying to get the town to save these old houses. But I mean, that was really the plot. And that's not a very entertaining plot if you think about it. For intrigue, I also gave it a 2. It just didn't intrigue me at all. I was very able to put it down. I was very able to walk away from it. For logic, I gave it a 1 because the ending plot twist... Sorry, I'm getting tired. But the ending plot twist, if you go back through it, like, doesn't really make sense with some of the things that happened. And for writing, or for enjoyment, I gave it a 1. I did not want to keep reading this at any point. I forced myself to finish it and did not like it. So that led it to be a 1-star rating. So Ballet Shoes was actually better, which is good. I did actually really enjoy this book. Characters, I gave it a 9. I love how diverse the characters were, even though they were being raised as sisters. They all had their own personalities and their own little things about them, and it reminded me a lot of the girls in Little Women, so I really enjoyed that aspect. For atmosphere, I gave it a 7. I thought it was very true to the time period, and I enjoyed reading about it. For writing, I also gave it a 7. Again, I enjoyed it. It was kind of average, but I enjoyed it. Plot, I gave a 6. There wasn't like a really big plot throughout it, but the like, once it got towards the end, there was a bigger plot, but in the beginning, the plot was kind of just like these girls going to get work as dancers and actresses and stuff. For intrigue, I gave it an 8. I wanted to keep reading it. I wanted to keep picking it up. I enjoyed it a lot. For logic, I also gave it an 8. I thought that this could have pretty much happened. There was a couple things that I was like, ooh, maybe not, but for the most part, it could have all pretty much happened. And for enjoyment, I gave it a 9. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was true to the time period. One of the things that I loved is not only the moral of, like, don't let fame go to your head, but I also loved that you could see the differences. Like, these kids were like working only 2.5 hours in the industry in this book, and now I think kids are allowed to work 6 hours in the industry, like for rehearsals and for filming and stuff like that. And to me, that seems crazy. Like, these kids were 2.5 hours, then they had school, then they had their trainings, like they had to go to this dance and acting academy and be trained there, and so many other things happened, like, in their day, like taking care of the stuff that they need to do, chores, going for a walk every day to make sure they got outside for a little bit. You know, the amount of stuff that they had to do, they were booked from 7 o'clock till, I want to say, like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night in the book. And that's a 13-hour day, and most adults can't do a 13-hour day now. But then thinking about it too, kids in the film industry that are allowed to work 6 hours a day now, or however long it is, I don't know if it's actually 6 hours, but they're allowed to work for a long amount of time, way longer than 2.5 hours a day. And they also have to do school and do their practices and stuff like that. And I think specifically about the show Dance Moms, because like it was a lot about doing dance. Like those kids, not only, I think they said that their pyramid filming that they did alone was 4 hours. Like they would have to stand in a room for 4 hours. They had to do school on top of that. And then, they had their normal dance training on top of that too, because they weren't just getting training in what you saw on the show, because that wasn't hardly any training. They were getting dance training in the studio as well. Then they had homework for their schooling. Even though most of them were homeschooled, they still had homework. It is crazy how much effort people who are in the industry put into doing something just for our entertainment. So I think that's really cool. It's really entertaining to me to read about, and I really enjoyed the book, so it ended up being a 4-star rating for me. So now I'm going to, I think, head to bed. I'm not really tired yet, and my room is still really hot, and I cannot sleep when it is this hot in my room. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch a little bit of Once Upon a Time with all the lights out, and hopefully having my lamps out and stuff will cool it down a little bit. In here, I have both windows open still, and it's raining out, and I have my fan going. I don't know why it's so hot, but it is just scalding hot, and I can't stand it. So I'm gonna watch Once Upon a Time until I can actually fall asleep. Okay, so it's about 9:15 at night. I ended up having to go to the studio today to get some work done there, and I was only supposed to stay half an hour, and I ended up staying for 2, so I'm beat. I never got a nap today. I only slept 3 hours last night, if that. I don't even think it was that much because my room is so hot. Tonight it's nice and cool, so that's promising, but it was so hot last night I could not sleep. So I was going to take a nap after I worked, but then I ended up staying for 2 hours, so I'm just beat right now, like beyond beat. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my Instagram posts for Out of the Wild Night and Ballet Shoes, and then just watch Once Upon a Time. I was going to start reading Book Scavenger today, and I had planned originally to get halfway through it, but that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to do these Instagram posts and head to bed. The things I do for my booktube and bookstagram, I'm about to put Pointe shoes on for the first time in 4 years. 4 years since I've worn these babies, and use them for my photo of ballet shoes. But I figured it would look better if my feet were in them than if they were just dangling. So the risks I have to take. Okay, so fun fact. Ballet shoes, people think lace up the calf, like people who aren't dancers think lace up the calf. But this is actually how you tie them. So you have the elastic, and then you cross the ribbons on the top just a little bit, and then you wrap it around the ankle for ankle support, tie the knot, and tuck it in to the side. So a little background about my Pointe history. When I was in high school, I mainly trained as an acrobatic dancer and a contemporary dancer. I didn't train much. I actually didn't really train in hip hop, which is my main style now, but I didn't train much in Pointe or ballet. Our studio owner kind of flaked on us and never really cared about our ballet training and pretty much expected us to learn Pointe ourselves so that she could put a Pointe number in our recital, but never really expected us to, like, know how to do this stuff. Just kind of wanted us to be able to do it, I guess. I don't know. Definitely skipped a lot of Pointe practices to do other competition routines instead of doing what we should have been working on. When I got to college, I took a couple dances in my college dance club of Pointe, which were not really well trained either, but I did also take ballet from a really amazing teacher there. Even though I was a bit of a sassafras. I had an attitude problem in college. I know my faults. I had issues, but I definitely gave her a lot of attitude. But for the most part, she really trained me a lot, and I learned a lot from her. Even though it was a basic ballet 101, there's a lot of things that people just failed to teach me that I really needed for my training, and ended up learning a lot from her. I took a couple different dance classes in college through actual teachers and not just my dance club, and I did learn a lot from all of them. But probably the place that I trained the most in Pointe was in 2016, actually, which was the year before I lost my ability to do Pointe. But in 2016, I ended up joining a dance studio that took adult training really seriously, and I really enjoyed being there while I was there because I enjoyed the training a lot. And the thing was that my knee blew in August of 2016 for the first time. And it wasn't horrible yet, but it wasn't great. So basically what would happen is I would get on Pointe and sometimes my knee would dislocate, but I was so determined to learn Pointe properly so that I had it in my repertoire for when I wanted to teach, or if anything ever came my way as a dancer, which it never did. No, I don't know why I ever thought it would. I was not that talented, but you know, I'm a really good teacher and I'm proud of that. But I really wanted to learn Pointe the proper way, so I stuck out the classes even though it killed my knee and just damaged my knee over and over and over again. So the story behind these Pointe shoes is about 2 months before my recital in June of 2017, my shank, which is the bottom part of your Pointe shoe, snapped, and I couldn't dance on it anymore at all, even if I wanted to. It was completely bent in half. There was no way for my foot to fit comfortably in it, and I had a really hard time going up on Pointe. So ultimately, I needed to get new Pointe shoes. Me and my best friend, we got fitted for Pointe shoes. These are Russian style Pointe shoes, so they have an extra hard shank, and the box is actually still really hard because that happened in, let's see here, April of 2017, and in July of 2017, my knee blew officially. I was not allowed to do Pointe anymore. I needed drastic knee surgery and was never allowed to do Pointe again. I did try to take one Pointe class after my surgery. I want to say it was almost the year, it was 7 months after my knee surgery, which was dumb. Shouldn't have done that. But I did try to take one Pointe class and just could not keep up. My knee was wobbly. I was really nervous on it. I really only worked the right side. And even when I did work the right side, it wasn't great because I'd been off Pointe for so many months at that point that I didn't even know what to do. So that's my history with Pointe. So I was never a great ballerina to begin with. And I'm not saying that you have to be a great ballerina to be a good dancer. I fully am a great acrobatics teacher, a great hip-hop teacher. Just ballet has never been my strong point, and it's not a lot of people's strong point. It may be the foundation of dance, but it's hard. So Pointe has never been my thing. However, because these are also new shoes, the box, which is the top of the Pointe shoe, which is this part right here. So this part right there. Sorry for the weird angles. I'll try to flip my camera. Okay, so this part right here is the shank. This is the box, okay? So this is really hard because they are new. They're broken in enough because I danced in them for 2 months, but they're not broken in a ton. But the box is super, super hard, and it was hard anyway. It was supposed to be a little bit harder because that's the type of shoes that these are, but holy cannolis, they hurt. I'm just sitting here with them on and they hurt. The other thing is usually ballerinas have things inside their shoes. So some people have gel and some people have wool skin. Most people use wool skin, but they're these little they're like the cutout of the top of your toes and the first part of your foot, basically. And it's just like this little half crescent thing that you put over your toes so there's not as much pressure and not as much friction of the box rubbing up against your toes. Yeah, I don't have that on because I don't know where it is. I don't think I have it. These Pointe shoes have been for display for 4 years. Also, most ballerinas wear tights, and tights, even though they're not super thick, do give you an extra layer of cushion. So right now, where I'm at is I am going to be taking this photo, hopefully one time, on the box of my Pointe shoe, with nothing between me and the box, and going up on Pointe for the first time in 4 years minus 1 day. So we'll see how this goes. All for a picture for Instagram. My best friend's gonna watch this and she's gonna be like, "You're stupid." This is gonna happen. But I'm excited to see if I can even go up on box anymore. I don't even know if I can go up on box. If anybody hears a really loud crack, I'm sure I've gotten help by now, but just ow. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. I can't even describe to you the amount of pain my toes are in right now. I'm gonna have blisters on the top of my toes in the morning. But yeah, it's time to take the picture. I warmed up my ankles a little bit. I can't decide what's the best position to take the picture in though. So we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. Okay, I think I finally got one I liked, and if you're a dancer out there and you're like, that's not how you get up onto pointe shoes, trust me, I tried rolling up and it hurts. So I stepped up into them. I know that that's not right, but that's what I had to do because they need to come off my feet now. So just for a little reference, I've only been in them for, I want to say 15 minutes, and here's a blister starting to form, and here's a blister that burst open.
And now they're back where they so rightfully belong.
My toes hurt, but I'm done photographing, so now I get to turn out my lights, watch Once Upon a Time, and go to bed. I'm just laying in my nook dead right now. Just dead from the day. I know that my chin rash is getting really bad, guys. I just got in touch with my dermatologist, so they're gonna send me some stuff to fix that, but basically it's just like, I think it's like a mix of like stress and whatever, my skin sensitivity, but yeah, it sucks. I hate having it because that's super obvious sometimes and I hate it. But today was crazy. So Jacob and Ava both had Zoom meetings for their teachers today. So Jacob had OT, and then right after OT, he had speech. And then at lunchtime, he had Zoom lunch with the teacher. And then Ava had her like Zoom class meeting with her teacher. So it was just a day of teachers. And Riley was only a 1-nap girl today, which we always like when she takes 2 naps, but she's definitely becoming a 1-nap girl. So, and then I had to teach classes, but then I also just got done filming my video for tomorrow, and it took me an hour and a half to film my video for tomorrow. It's not that long. There was like, I had to do an intro that's like an exclusive intro for an interview that will be going up tomorrow. But basically, Rainbow Crate Book Box, they let me do an exclusive interview for them, so I wanted to announce it in my video, but I wanted to be professional, so I wrote like a teleprompter kind of thing, and still managed to mess it up probably 15 times, and just had to keep recording it. And then I started a video, ran out of memory space, had to restart the video, and then I ended up changing my idea like 3 times about what I wanted the video to be, because it's kind of more like a sit down and chat. You guys have already seen it. It's already been posted, but it's the top 10 facts about me. But I originally had it be like a mental health video, and then I was like, I just don't feel like doing that right now. So now I'm tired, basically. Oh, and then I had to plan all their school stuff tomorrow because we're doing Disney Day, and they were supposed to go to Disney in April, and I want them to actually have like a magical day tomorrow since they missed out on their Disney trip. So I am here, and I am dead. My plans are, I have to edit the video that I'm posting tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight or tomorrow. Can't really decide. It's always better if I do it tonight because then I don't have to do it tomorrow, but I don't know if I feel like watching that video right now because I just spent so much time with it. But then I also want to start Book Scavenger tonight. So even if I don't read a lot of it, I at least want to get it started. I do not have to babysit Friday, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, but Believathon ends Sunday, so I really do need to get my last 3 Believathon books done, and 2 of them are chunkers, so I gotta get going. So I totally forgot that I did finish a book today. It's the book that I've been reading with Ava. It's not for Believathon, but it's one that we read together. I read her like a slightly older book for her age group because she has interest levels that are above her age group's reading level. Like right now she's reading like about a fox and grapes or something like that for her school reading club. So she likes books that are a little bit older, but she can't read them herself yet, so I read them to her. So this time we read Franny K. Stein, Mad Scientist, The Fran with Four Brains by Jim Benton. This is a part of the Franny K. Stein series, but in this one specifically, Franny is overwhelmed with all this work, so she makes three different robots to basically represent her, and each one is really good at one of the activities that she is supposed to be doing, but they end up taking things too seriously and getting carried away, and she has to kind of rein them back in. So the call pile for this is pretty average. It's like slightly above average, but character, atmosphere, and writing all got 7 from me. I felt like all of them were pretty much just like slightly above average. Like, I say Ava's not a reader, so if something keeps her interest, I think it's doing a good job, but she really doesn't like care about books. And it wasn't like a wow book for me either, but it was pretty cute. And this is the same author who writes the Dear Dumb Diary series. And I loved Dear Dumb Diary growing up, but I almost think I liked this one a little bit better than the Dear Dumb Diary I read this month. So then plotline, I gave an 8. I thought it was pretty cute, and it had like a good moral for kids. Intrigue, I gave a 7. Logic, I gave a 6 because, I mean, like, no, like, 8-year-old girl is really making robots, but hey, she might, I don't know. And then enjoyment, I gave a 7 because I thought it was, like, slightly above average. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I do want to read more of the books in the series because she liked them too, so maybe I'll pick up some more for us, but yeah, so I wanted to just touch base that I did finish a book today, even though it was not one that I planned to finish. And right now I'm about to read Book Scavenger, which is my Yellow Brick Road. No, this is my 100 Acre Wood prompt. I finished the Yellow Brick Road. But for Believathon, this is my 100 Acre Wood prompt. So basically, I finished the Yellow Brick Road. Now I get to go to the 100 Acre Woods. And in order to get out of the 100 Acre Woods, I have to read a book that has yellow on the cover. And this clearly has lots of yellow on the cover. So I'm going to start this now. I'm going to do a sprint until about 12:15 in the morning, and then I'm going to probably veg because I don't know how much longer I have in me to stay awake, because honestly today was crazy, but want to do a little something? I don't know. I try, guys. I try to get a little reading done, but really I know what's going to happen is Friday and Saturday I'm going to stay up all night and binge read books because I'm going to need to finish them for Sunday's end of Believathon. So that's really what's going to happen. Okay, so it's about 8:30 in the morning. Sorry if you can hear the background noise. It's my fan, but my room is too hot to turn it off even to film. So, but I wanted to just let you guys know that I started my reading sprint last night, got to about page 25 of Book Scavenger, which is pretty good so far, and then I fell asleep on the book. So I was really tired. I ended up sleeping 8 hours though, so I'm not complaining too much. But today I'm doing like a Disney day with the kids, so I was gonna film a little bit of that so you guys could kind of see how we did the rides inside our house. But yeah, only 25 pages of Book Scavenger. But since I slept 8 hours last night, I am hoping that I can get a good chunk of it done tonight. That's the goal. Alright guys, so guess what I finally got? It's an air conditioner. So that's what you're hearing in the background. But finally, I will be nice and cool in my room. I'm so happy I finally have one. It's very exciting. Our Disney day was super successful today. The kids loved the rides. I hope you guys could kind of get the gist of what ride they were on based on the videos, but you know, makeshift Disney at home. They had fun. And then the other cool thing that happened today is I got a little bit of a book haul. So I realized that I didn't have any Jason Reynolds on my shelf, and he's one of my favorite authors, so I really needed to own some of his books. So I ended up getting a whole bunch. I have already read the track series, so this is a series of 4 books about Ghost, Patina, Sunny, and Lou, and they are 4 kids that are on a track team, and it's their individual stories about Ghost, who's kind of headed down the wrong path, Patina, who is all about like fighting to be the best, but also she has a mom who is disabled and she's kind of struggling with some home stuff. Sunny, who doesn't really care about running, even though he's really good at it. He wants to dance instead. And Lou, he's kind of like thinks he's the best on the team, but he also has a lot of insecurities due to the fact that he has he's albino. So then I also got Look Both Ways, which I believe is one of his newer ones, and this is a book that takes place over 10 blocks, so it's 10 different points of views as people are walking home from school. Then I got When I Was the Greatest, and this is about a boy who is really into boxing, and he kind of has a friend who's not such a great person, and they get stuck in a situation that he was never meant to be a part of, but he has to figure out how to get them out of the situation. Then I have Long Way Down, and this one I've read before, but this is about a boy whose brother is shot and he's going to seek revenge. So he is in the elevator, but on the way down he sees people from his past and they're trying to convince him not to go kill this guy. And then All American Boys I haven't read before, but it sounds really good. But it's about a boy who is beaten by the police, and a white boy witnesses it, but he doesn't say anything because the police officer that beat him was his best friend's older brother, and he doesn't say anything until they realize like that there's some serious issues between race lines being drawn and stuff like that, and he has to decide which side of the argument he's going to be on. And then I got For Everyone by Jason Reynolds, which obviously these are all by Jason Reynolds. I don't know why I just said this, but this is basically like a poem, maybe multiple poems, just encouragement for people that he wrote. So yeah, I bought some books, but I'm super happy. I really wanted some Jason Reynolds on my shelf, and I may have gone too much Jason Reynolds, but I've always loved all of his books, so I've never really complained. I mean, the track series, there are like ones that I like and ones that I didn't super love, but like Ghost is fabulous, so I would read Ghost a billion times. But yeah, Long Way Down was a 5-star read for me last year, and there's a character named Danny in it, which I like too, so. But yeah, I am going to finish uploading my video that I have to post for today. It is currently in the state of processing on YouTube, which usually takes about 7 trillion years. So it'll get up and eventually, hopefully before midnight, because, you know, it's already 11:18 at night. But then I also want to read more of Book Scavenger. I slept pretty well last night, but tomorrow's also the last day that I have to babysit the kids for the week. So I can really binge read on Thursday night and Friday, and then the whole weekend, but I really want these Believathon books done, and I'm not making much progress, so it's becoming an issue. Okay, so it is about 9 o'clock, I think, on Thursday night. I'm about to do an hour reading sprint because I want to get through a little bit more Book Scavenger. I did get up to page 100 last night and I really enjoyed it, but I can do a couple different book sprints tonight because I have no babysitting tomorrow, but I am going with my mom, so we're going to go out for a little bit. But I don't have to babysit, so that is good. So I'm going to do a couple different reading sprints tonight, and I also have to update my book journals and my Instagram and all that jazz, but reading sprint first. So I just finished up my hour sprint, and I am officially halfway through Book Scavenger now, and I'd like to finish it tonight, but I'm getting pretty tired, so I might fall asleep for a little bit, and then if I wake up in the middle of the night or whatever, read some more. But if I don't wake up, then I have all day tomorrow to finish it up and start Pegasus. So those are my plans for that. But I think I'm going to wrap up this vlog here because I am getting tired and it is almost 10:30. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and stay tuned for the next one. Bye!
Wasn't that a great video? Clearly books make me very happy. Now you can make me happy too. Click the subscribe button to follow my channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you think I did good. And the notification bell will let you know when I post new content. Also, follow my Instagram for more book shenanigans.